Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Fire That Gossip edition of the Andrea Pearson Show. I am your host, Andrea Pearson, and today we're going to be talking about firing people and gossiping and how to be kind in the workplace. And before I get into it, I mean, basically, so kindness is frequently equated with weakness. I'm not talking about, letting somebody walk all over you or anything like that. I'm talking about not being a jerk. So, as a great leader, you need to be focusing on how to be kind and how to treat other people well so that they treat you well in return. And so kindness in the workplace. So being kind in the workplace, being kind to people you work with, your vendors, if you're a one man band, if you are if you have multiple employees or whatever, being kind to people is hugely important. It's good for many reasons. So like basically it helps you build loyalty and trust. If you're a jerk, nobody's going to trust you, nobody's going to be loyal to you. Well, I mean, some people are loyal to jerks, but they're kind of messed up, honestly. And do you really want messed up people in your organization, right? Um, Being kind to people and not being a jerk will lead to better collaboration because if people trust you, and if you're not going to be a jerk to them and they know that, then they're going to be able to collaborate better with you and with each other. It also leads to more engagement in the workplace. It allows people to basically use their creative juices better. They're able to tap into a side of them that they would not be able to tap into if they were full of stress and anxiety, which is another benefit of not being a jerk. People have less stress and anxiety when they are not expecting to be attacked or jumped all over at any second. And it also leads to a better culture in the workplace. I mean, nobody wants to work for a jerk. Nobody wants to work with jerks. Nobody wants to work for a boss that allows other people to be jerks. So, your culture and your company, even if you're a one man band, is hugely impacted by your level of jerkiness or your level of kindness. It leads to better effectiveness. Your employees will be more effective. You will be more effective if you are not a jerk. And it leads to stress and anxiety in the individual themselves. Like the person who's actually being a jerk is less of, if they are a jerk, I mean, their stress and anxiety is going to be off the charts and shooting through the roof. It also leads to more inspiration and more motivation. So which is part of the engagement, part of the collaboration. When people are not expecting to be jumped and attacked all the time, they are better able to be motivated. It's easier to inspire them. It's easier for them to find their own motivation and their own inspiration. And these things don't apply just to um, leaders who have employees. They apply to people who own their own company and have no employees. If you are a jerk, nobody's going to want to work with you. If you are a jerk, if you badmouth other people online all the time, and I mean, there's so many authors who do this regularly. Like they'll put up a post about somebody that they don't agree with, and sometimes they don't even put a name to it. But if it's like another famous person or another influencer, then everybody's going to know who they're talking about. And guys, I just think that's bad. I think it's bad policy. I think it's a bad approach. And if you are in a business like a home service business or any other type of business where it's just you and you have no employees, the way you treat people will impact whether you are successful or not. So make sure you are treating people with kindness and basically treating them the way you want to be treated. And don't equate kindness with weakness, because honestly they are not the same thing, because it is not kind to do certain things that other people would view as weak. So basically, don't be a jerk. So, leading into that, what I just said, is it kind to allow gossip? Is it kind to allow somebody to walk all over you? Is it kind to fire someone who isn't a good fit? I'm gonna say yes. Like it is. Yes. No. It's no. No. It is not kind to allow gossip. It's not kind to allow somebody to walk all over you. It's not kind to let somebody stay in your organization who is not a good fit. That is not kindness. That's weakness. And that's where a lot of people confuse whether it's being kind or whether it's being weak. That shows a lack of boundaries. That shows that you struggle with respecting yourself and you struggle with following through on things that on the precedent that you set. So gossip, guys, it erodes trust. Gossip, if you allow gossip in your organization, nobody's going to trust you. If you allow your employees to gossip to each other, they're not going to trust each other and they will not trust you. It lowers morale. Nobody likes a gossip. Even gossips don't like gossips. Like some of the biggest gossips I know complain about other people for being gossips. And nobody likes a gossip, okay? It lowers morale. It lowers people's effectiveness. It lowers their ability to do their job. It lowers the company culture. It decreases productivity. If people are gossiping, like they're wasting. Not only are they wasting time gossiping, but they're also bad mouthing each other and making it so the company culture and the company organization, like that unity is lacking. It's missing. It creates a toxic work environment. And I mean, gossip, toxic work environment goes all sorts of different directions, especially depending on your political leanings. But gossip in a work environment is toxic. There is no way around it. And if you are the gossip in your organization, your company is going to fail. And if you allow people to gossip, it will lead to a horrible work environment that people will not want to be in, which leads to high turnover. People who are really good employees, they do not tolerate bad leaders. And a bad leader is somebody who allows gossip to happen in his or her organization. Okay, it damages a reputation. It can damage your reputation as a leader. It damages your employees' reputations with each other, and it also damages your company's reputation when it comes to vendors and customers, clients, whatever. You will, if your customers, or sorry, if your employees are gossiping to each other, then you can bet that they're probably gossiping to your customers and to your patients, clients, whoever it is that you work with, and that is going to destroy your company. It increases stress and anxiety. People who know that they're being gossiped about, they have zero loyalty to a company that allows that to happen. If they know they're being gossiped about, it drops their morale, it drops their trust, it drops their productivity. It undermines teamwork. People don't want to work with gossips, and gossips don't want to work with gossips. It's just a really bad precedent to set for a company to allow gossip to happen. And it also destroys your goals and destroys your mission and destroys your vision for your company. Nobody wants to work for a company. And I've said this like 5 million times now, but guys, gossip is bad for your company. It's bad for your goals. It's bad for your vision, for everything. Um, it's bad for you wanting to to reach the success and the level of that success that you want. So guys, fire that gossip. If you have a gossip on your team, fire him or her. And everybody's like, oh, probably picturing a woman. I've known men who are worse gossips than women. Gossip is not a gender thing. I mean, people are like, oh, women do more gossiping, but I have 5 brothers, guys. Guys, men gossip just as much as women do. Um, and fire them, okay? And with that, who cares if they are doing a good job? Who cares if your patients, customers, clients, whatever, love them? Who cares if your vendors love them? Who cares if they are just absolutely phenomenal at what they're doing? And they're skilled, they're talented at it. They're spending company time gossiping. They're destroying your company by gossiping. And the faster you get them out, the better it is. It is much better for you to fire somebody who is a gossip than it is to let them stay in your company, regardless of how much good they are doing for your company. Okay. So firing people, and is that kindness? Is it kind to fire somebody? Yes, it is kind to fire somebody. Is it kind to allow them to stay in your company and give them another chance? No, it's not. Okay. Because if they are a bad for your fit for your company and you do not fire them, not only are you affecting how other people in the company view you, but you are also preventing them from going and being working for an organization where they are a good fit. So you are stopping their progression and you are stopping your company's progression. Okay. You're also stopping your progression by trying to be kind and giving them another chance. And I just don't. And what that really is, guys, that really is just weakness. That's a lack of boundaries. That's letting somebody walk all over you. If they are not a good fit for your company, you need to get rid of them. And it's like the best place or the best time to fire somebody is the first time it occurs to you. And yes, maybe like sometimes, you want to talk to them and give them a chance to redeem themselves. I'm going to say there was a time I was working as a paralegal and I was showing up 10 minutes late every single day. And it was winter and I wasn't accounting for ice on my car and needed to scrape that off and everything. And rather than firing me, one of my bosses pulled me aside and said, "Hey, we would like you to focus on being on time." And this is back when I was my early experience in working. I was like 18 or 19, right? Anyway, so I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're right." Like I hadn't even been paying attention. I mean, I knew I'd been late, but I hadn't thought of it as from the aspect of I'm basically robbing my employer, right? And so that was all it took, and it was super embarrassing, and I was like, "Oh my gosh," like, I'm not normally a late person, I'm usually one of those types of people who is 5, 10 minutes early, and so that conversation was very kindly handled, it was in private, it was very well done. That conversation got me, back into I fixed my behavior and I wasn't late ever again, right? And so talking to somebody, it could be you just pull them aside and you're like, okay, so what's going on? And what's going on in your home life? You know, how are things going on with your spouse or your kids, your whatever, you know, just have them explain to you why, maybe why they're having a bad attitude, or maybe why they're not being super productive at work, because it could be that it is just based on something that's temporary and is going to go away, but it could also just be a symptom of an underlying problem that is never going to go away. And again, the best thing to do in that case is to let them go. So if they are bad fit for the company, letting them go is the kindest thing for you to do. It allows them to go and be what they need to be. And maybe you firing them will unlock something inside of them and allow them to recognize, hey, that job was not a good fit for me. Or maybe it will lock in something inside them that will help them recognize that they need to take it more seriously and do a better job in a future position. And it's not your responsibility to teach them. It is your responsibility to let them go. Okay. Okay, so there are tons of reasons why you would want to fire somebody. I'm not going to get into them too much. You guys know if somebody is walking all over you, it's not kind to allow that. You know, you need to correct that, right? There's a lot of things that you can do to recognize, or to, sorry, to research search for yourself why you should fire somebody. But basically, if it's crossed your mind that you wish they didn't work for you, if you regret hiring them, then it's time to let them go. Okay. And as I already said, do it as soon as it occurs to you. Don't wait. Don't put it off. Don't hope that they'll improve over time, especially if you've talked to them about it, and especially if they're gossiping, especially if they're doing something else. Anyway, things aren't going to improve unless you do something about it. So get rid of that person. Fire that gossip. Fire the person who is walking all over you. Fire the person who's not a good fit for your organization, and focus on not being a jerk about it. Focus on being a kind leader and a great leader. And that's pretty much it for this episode, guys. Hit the like and the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Comment below. Let me know if you have any questions. And I've got a link in the description that'll take you to a form if you want to ask a question anonymously, or if you just want to help me have my questions all in one place. That's pretty much it, guys. I love you. Thank you so much for watching and for subscribing and being in my audience. And I'll talk to you all later. Bye.